Since, as they say, once a cheater, always a cheater, it seems that Kirk committed the same awkward mistake that caused their relationship to fail in the past. So now that their marriage is legally gone, there won't be any shocks. The hidden relationship between Kirk and Jasmine Washington has resumed, so hold on to your wigs. Is the second time he has gotten her pregnant? Which is like déjà vu. Kirk's discovery heightened the turmoil, and he feigned that he had been bored of Rashida all along rather than confessing to his eating. But as everyone knows, it is just a front to conceal his nefarious little secret. Honestly, who could hold Rashida responsible for putting an end to Kirk's lies? The treachery is severe, and it appears that after 25 years of ups and downs, Rashida has filed for divorce. Let's take a minute to reflect and finish this tumultuous relationship, because, trust me, it has been an emotional roller coaster from the start. In my perspective, it has been a long time coming. Although they are one of the most well-known couples on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage has suffered as a result of Kirk's infidelity. Recall how, in Season 2, Kirk accused Rasheeda of cheating after she got pregnant. You know, the hypocrite is calling the kettle black. Kirk then cheated on Rasheeda on tape while on vacation, in one of the most infamous incidents in hip-hop and love history. In Season 3, the insolence of this individual is even more appalling. Why would Kirk even bother to take a DNA test to prove the paternity of Rasheeda's child? It must have been very embarrassing for Rasheeda to deal with the situation concerning her mother. Notwithstanding all the turmoil, I call the time Shirlene ran over Kirk's motorcycle during a heated argument Mama Bear energy. Despite Rasheeda's long-standing friendship with Kirk, it seems that his most recent betrayal of Jasmine Washington was the final straw. Is it your fault? The appearance of Jasmine is not the first time. In Season 6, it was revealed that Kirk had fathered a child with Jasmine, a stripper at the time, and Rasheeda felt compelled to forgive him. But now history is happening once more. Kirk has resumed his secret relationship with Jasmine, and she is expecting her second child with him. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Pretending to be the victim and saying that he has wanted to leave Rasheeda for years is a charade to cover up his most recent transgression. He is a typical cheater, as we all know. The audience has been watching Rasheeda's journey closely, and many of them her decision to ultimately leave Kirk. If your actions are observed, pretend that you were happy the whole time, and you ask. On his initial appearance on the show, he was presented as Rasheeda's loving spouse and manager. However, it seems that she is now making the decision to prioritize her own pleasure and peace of mind after putting up with Kirk's pranks for far too long. But let's talk about Kirk for a second, since his activities throughout the years have been nothing short of scandalous, both for Kirk and Rasheeda Frost. Rasheeda Frost, whose mind was racing after learning of Kirk's adultery and affair that had betrayed her trust and left her reeling, was pacing the living room, demonstrating the tension in the lavish loft. She needs assistance to achieve her goals in the music business. The evidence was undeniable, so she decided that if Kirk wanted to play dirty, she would show him how well she could follow his movements with her eyes flashed resolutely. Rasheeda, aware that she needed to act, made the public declaration as her way of regaining control. The air was electric with excitement as cameras and reporters gathered for the press conference she prepared to ensure it would be the talk of the town. Rasheeda looked sophisticated and defiant in her gorgeous dress when she took the podium. Rasheeda has a serene yet subtle warmth in her demeanor. Much obliged. Thank you for attending. I have some important news to share, and I want to be clear about my next steps, she said in a voice that was steady but enthusiastic. The reporters leaned closer, their interest growing. Rasheeda continued, "My relationship with Kirk Frost has been challenging lately, as many of you are aware. Kirk has been disloyal to the before delivering the punchline. Burst into whispers and light bursts, but Rasheeda had not finished. Adding, "This is where it gets interesting," she smiled proudly. "Not just for myself, but also with a new individual who has been a true friend and partner. I'm moving on." Suddenly, in sharp contrast to the chaos all around them, Rashida's new lover appeared. She was tall and exuded a serene assurance. The reporters posed questions and took pictures with renewed zeal. "Who is he?" shouted one of the journalists. "How did you two meet?" When Rashida introduced him, her eyes gleamed with pleasure. "Adrian and I have been dating for a while, and he has been a wonderful friend during all of the highs and lows. It brings me joy to start this new chapter with him by my side." Aligned with Rashida, Rasheeda Frost and Adrian shook hands and smiled warmly at the reporters, unfazed by the media frenzy. He spoke with confidence, clearly ready for the spotlight. "We were acquainted by mutual acquaintances, and our relationship blossomed naturally. I'm to be following her and encouraging her as she goes forward." The reporters were eager to get their hands dirty, so they asked a lot of questions. The details of Rashida's new relationship and its connection to her public image are examined. As the press conference drew to a close, Rashida reacted with a mix of poise and playful defiance, clearly enjoying the opportunity to shift the topic. Cameras continued to flash as Rashida took back control of the situation, and she and Adrian left together, holding hands in a symbol of unity and new beginnings. Rashida knew that her disclosure would undoubtedly make headlines, but she was ready. She had capitalized on Kirk's betrayal to demonstrate her own strength and preparation for a fresh start. After facing Kirk's adultery head-on with courage and grace, Rashida felt free to walk into the night, ready to take on anything that came her way with Adrian by her side. The renewed hope and confidence of Rasheeda Frost and Kirk love and hip-hop. Atlanta actress Rashida has finally had enough and is ready to file for divorce from her husband. Rumor has it that Rashida is over Kirk Frost's infidelity and dishonesty, which have been a constant source of trouble for her. Their union's persistent cause of contention. Although Kirk has often been in the news for his dubious actions, his betrayal on screen during a romantic vacation stands out as one of his most well-known incidents. The scene's drama made it famous, and by season 3, Kirk's blatant deception about paternity during Rashida's pregnancy in season 2 was a huge drama bomb that ruined their relationship. Kirk managed to get a sample of DNA. Even if her marriage has been nothing more than a theatrical soap opera, Rashida seems ready to take back control of her life and move on after years of highly publicized highs and lows. This action left Rashida reeling and only made matters worse. Additionally, it resulted in spectacular altercations with her mother, Charlene, who famously ran over Kirk's motorcycle during a heated argument. It would be a big shift for Rashida, a seasoned cast member, known for juggling her busy relationship with Kirk, her career, and her family, if the divorce rumors are true. Numerous individuals are endorsing Rashida's decision to end her relationship with Kirk Frost after years of adultery, and her path has been unparalleled. Rashida is apparently sick of having to put up with Kirk's dishonesty and lying. Joy and peace. Following nearly 25 years of wild ups and downs, Kirk Frost and Rashida's marriage is without a doubt one of the most dramatic and scandalous partnerships on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Rashida's heart was racing from the speculations when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta initially started, and she was pacing the living room. She was so overcome by the sorrow of the reports of a horrible betrayal that she was hardly able to process what she had heard the day before. She was more personally impacted by her husband's adultery than she ever could have imagined. Taking a deep breath, she summoned the courage to confront him. Kirk's voice was a touch shaky as she said, "I've got to be honest. Hearing gossip about my mother and you." For a moment, Kirk's face went white, and he appeared genuinely confused. "Rashida, what are you discussing?" Her anger growing, she broke off. "You cannot continue to deny this. I have proof that you may have harmed us and me in this way." Kirk was obviously unprepared for the encounter, as evidenced by his stuttering. "So it's not what you think. I'm not your mother." I think she retaliated by expressing astonishment, You were supposed to be my partner and confidant, but instead you're hanging out with Mother. How could you have betrayed me like this?" A sense of lost trust weighed heavily on the room's atmosphere. Rashida waited for him to explain himself while crossing her arms. However, the words seemed to get stuck in his throat, and she looked around the room as if seeking an explanation. Leave despite all this drama. Despite the years of Rashida's support, it seems that Kirk's most recent betrayal of Jasmine Washington was the final straw, and she is not at fault. They have previously experienced conflict because of Jasmine. In Season 6, it was revealed that Kirk had fathered a kid with Jasmine. Jasmine,